if you don't, every once in a while, sit back, reflect on your life, look at what you like doing, look at what you don't like doing, what you want to change, and what you want to do more of. You are likely to end up living in either a comfortable misery or taking a lot of action, doing a lot of things, and then looking up and being like, hold on, this isn't really what I wanted. I think that reflection is one of the most important things that you can do with your time, but I also think that it's something that you can really overdo. And that's why I like to keep serious reflection as something that I do on a monthly, quarterly basis. In this video, I wanted to do a mini mid-year life audit where I look at the goals that I set at the start of the year, the intentions that I have for myself, how they all went, what didn't go so well, and what I want to change. This is a really simple framework for doing a little mini life audit. It's something you could follow along and do yourself, even just in the comments down below. So I encourage you to do that if you don't have time for reflection as you're watching. Type out your own little mid-year review. So a really good way to kick off any kind of review, it is my absolute go-to, is to think about your wins. So what has gone well, what has done fabulously, what has been amazing for you. Sometimes it's very hard to think of your wins, and this is a time to be very self-compassionate because this year has been a freaking year. This is a space to ditch comparison. All of your wins are valid, no matter how small, no matter how much they don't seem like gold star traditional wins, they are all valid. If you're struggling to think of anything, try and think of even wins in the last few days, just tiny wins, write them down and then build from there. You'll find yourself remembering wins that you completely forgot have happened this year. Please keep in mind that if you're not accomplishing as much as you usually would or as much as you expected yourself to, I feel like that is a global phenomenon right now. We are all on the same level. We're all in this together. Please don't be hard on yourself. So my wins for this year are pretty varied. My first win, and it's kind of like an internal win, nothing huge, but kind of like huge for me. And that is actually starting bouldering. So rock climbing is something that I have been wanting to do for, it's been like a few years now. You know how you have something in the back of your mind and you're like, yeah, that's something that I want to do. But I do have a touch of social anxiety that sort of screamed at me and was like, absolutely not. I couldn't think of anything worse. You are already a little scared of gyms. So imagine going to a place where people intentionally watch you do your thing, because it's very much the vibe of rock climbing. Everyone watches each other rock climb. I've been going pretty consistently aside from the whole COVID period, which is a good chunk of time to be fair. It's putting myself in a very triggering situation, and sometimes I really struggle with it, but I am really proud of myself for going. My theme for this year is growth, and I feel like intentionally putting myself in those uncomfortable situations is really good for me. Another win, which also hits on that growth discomfort factor, is going to Toastmasters. I think that I'm a pretty good speaker and I can come across quite confident if I'm in a good headspace and I've practiced and whatnot, but I know that I have some internal doubts about it and I have some struggles. So I've thought for quite some time that I've needed to put myself in kind of a self-regulated exposure therapy type setting that is Toastmasters. If you're not familiar with Toastmasters, it's basically a group of people, they get together usually every 2 weeks and they do speeches and speaking exercises. I started going to that in maybe February and I'm still going consistently. It's been really helpful so far. If anything, it's just about that confidence building side of things. Every time I go though, there's definitely internal resistance. So another big growth kind of goal for me. There are also multiple goals that I've ticked off that haven't actually launched and been pushed out into the real world yet because of the crazy world that is right now. So I'm just trying to accept that, deal with that. I won't talk to them too much because there's like a few and you'll see them in the coming months. And if you've been watching my Instagram, you've probably seen a few bits and pieces here and there, but I have been making progress on my tangible goals. I just haven't been pushing anything out into the world. We will get there. The next big win has been consistently sticking to a money management system. So Profit First is the money management system that I've been using for my business. Literal life changer. Like, oh, such a good system. And the fact that I've stuck with it consistently, I'm really proud of. My mental health is better because of it. I am not stressed because of money. I feel on top of things. I know I can pay myself. Life is good. I completed an online marketing course, the Unstoppable E-commerce course. I'll have a link below if you're interested. All about the e-commerce side of things. The next win, and it's another discomfort win, was I did my very first live stream at the start of this year, and I just did a live stream literally on the weekend. Live streams was something that was really holding me back. I was like, ooh, that's scary. Going live, no chance to edit, because that's what what my videos are. Like, there's so much opportunity to edit in a YouTube video. Whereas a live stream, like, you mess up, then you mess up. That is what it is. So it was really good pushing myself and doing something that felt really uncomfortable, and also coming out on the other side of it and being like, that just isn't that uncomfortable. It's kind of a good time. It's really nice tackling your discomfort list and then realizing like that's actually not as uncomfortable as I thought. It was all literally in my mind. On top of that, I've also been on 2 podcasts. I was on Eileen's The Lavender Lifestyle, as well as the Eco Lust podcast and Notion Office Hours. So all of those, once again, tap into that social anxiety side of me. I really love talking to people. I love having those interesting conversations, but once again, it's just like I have to push myself to do those kind of things. So it's a little win for me. I've actually achieved a few things that were on my vision board that were very monetary focused. So these are things that I've wanted for some time that were all about making my life more convenient and easier. I'm very privileged to be able to say that these are things that I have in my life. They're things that I've wanted to have in my life for some time, but have never quite been able to get there. So these things that were in my mind for a long time were hiring someone to help with cleaning. So now I have once every 2 weeks, a beautiful human is coming and helping me to clean my house while I get work done. And I do have a meal delivery service, which is something that I've wanted for a while. The way that I justify this is, for me, meal prepping, it will take me a day straight, if not longer. So I get back an entire day of my time, which is absolutely worth the money that I spend on meal delivery. And cleaning is very similar. I can probably spend half a day, sometimes a day, just on cleaning. And that can be my whole entire weekend. Once again, really lucky if that's something that I'm able to do, and really happy that that's something that I have in my life. I appreciate it every second of the bloody day. Oh, another thing was getting a camera, which is coming soon, which will be able to up the quality of my videos, and I'm so excited about it. Going through your wins is good because it just puts you in this nice mindset of like, yes, I have done things. I've been achieving things. The next thing that I wanted to look at was my goals and how they went. So these are the goals that I set at the start of the year. I've actually set like a few goals between the start of the year and now. A reminder here again is needed. Self-compassion is key when it comes to goal setting, especially in this time. If you struggled, haven't gotten as much done as you wanted to, haven't gotten anything done, you aren't the only person in that boat, and that's very normal. I know that a lot of people are kind of writing off all their goals and they're just like, you know what, like next year we'll do the goals thing. But I feel like goals have been the thing that have been keeping me sane. Having little things to aim towards in my days has been really helpful. My big goal for the year has been launching a new platform for my planners, launching a new product, doing all of this stuff. And like I said, I've been doing lots of behind the scenes work on that. It just hasn't been able to get there because of closures of some important businesses that would help to support me to achieve those goals. So the way that I've been trying to work around that and keep myself motivated is working on the things that I can control, like the website, the product itself, the behind the scenes resources, doing things like the Life Map live stream that I did recently that was available to all of my life mappers, and creating a bit of a system around that. A lot of my goals I've actually already covered. These were mini goals in my life map. Going to Toastmasters, going rock climbing, keeping up a consistent exercise routine, which has been really good. That goal came about when Corona hit because I was in such a good routine, and then it took me right out. The next question to ask yourself is, what is not working? What decisions do you need to make going forward to make this year work for you a little bit more? What's in your control that you can change? There are a few things in my life that I for sure want to look at changing. Something that's not going right in my life right now is my tendency to sneak in work on the weekends. I am a shocker for this, and I think it comes from the fact that for 5 or so years I worked full time, and I worked on the weekends as well doing YouTube. So I'm very used to spending my weekends working, and it's not that I can't fit that work into the week. It's not that I work myself to the bone. It's literally just that I'm like, oh, I can do that on the weekend, no biggie. Right now I'm in a weird place where I seem to do all my socializing during the week, and then my weekends are free. So free time, I'm just like, oh, well, I can just do something for my website. So something I really want to work towards is making my weeks more filled with work and my weekends less filled with work, planning in more moments in my weekends so that I'm not just like filling them up with tasks. In terms of my YouTube channel and my content creation, I've been doing a little bit of a visual rebrand, which you might have noticed, particularly if you're following me on Instagram. Something that's been overdue for a while. The feeling of your YouTube channel not looking visually right is very similar to having a room in your house that you're like, oh, I don't like that room. It just bugs you and it's always on the back of your mind. And that's been me about my YouTube channel for a little while. I've been unhappy with the external look of my content, the look and feel. So I've been slowly working towards changing that, just in minor ways. I've also just invested in a new camera, which I mentioned, the Fujifilm X-T4. I'm so excited for the B-roll and to be able to carry my camera around everywhere. I cannot wait. So this year has been all about growth for me, and it's really focused on discomfort, which has been amazing. I feel like I've done quite well despite all of the challenges that have come up. I feel like internally I have been growing. I've been intentionally putting myself into situations outside of my comfort zone, and everything uncomfortable is getting slowly more comfortable, which is great. Going forward towards the end of the year, I think I want to shift my growth focus more towards things like my online content, my Instagram, actually growing my presence online, as well as growth in the business sense. That way I can sort of capture both sides of the growth coin that I had pictured in my head at the start of the year. So that was a really quick mid-year life audit. These videos are always so very focused on myself, but I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your little mini life audit down in the comment section. Literally write me a list of your wins, write me a list of what you want to change, how your goals are going, and count that as you doing your mid-year life audit, particularly if you're a time poor person. This could be a really good opportunity for you. I appreciate you so very much, and I will see you soon.